Boys, today we're here to talk about Final Fantasy again. Alright, dude, hold on. So this is going to be more of a talkie video. We got some soothing waves in the background, and I'll edit in the tunes later. But for now, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy, about what the transition has been like for me as a big WoW player. I played WoW since the beginning, pretty much. I joined in about 6 months or so before Burning Crusade came out, when there were still advertisements and stuff for Burning Crusade in Best Buy. You know, that usual shtick. So I could have some coffee. Now, when I got into WoW, I got into it as a child, right? So I grew with WoW and played the expansions, took breaks, came back, and always had a great time playing this game, realistically. But one of the things that I encountered after starting to take breaks from World of Warcraft was that when I came back, I didn't come back for as long. When I initially played World of Warcraft, I played World of Warcraft for easily 6 years straight, 7 years straight, 8 years, like just non-stop every day. 24-hour marathons, 48-hour marathons at my buddy's house in high school and shit. Like, it was the shit. And the game has changed a lot, to say the least. Those of you who have moved on from World of Warcraft or who used to play it know how the game has changed if you've come back for Shadowlands. I have resubscribed during Shadowlands, during Warlords of Draenor. I skipped BFA. I resubscribed during Legion. And my experience during all of these expansions has been pretty much, unless you're a top tier raider, there's no content for you. You finish the campaign and you do a little bit of your dailies afterward, and then you move on with your day and you've done your World of Warcraft chores. See, now, I like raiding. I like PvP. I really, really like doing everything in World of Warcraft. But the thing is there was a artificial difficulty embedded into the systems of World of Warcraft, which would be the main cause point for you as a player to have a struggle to get up. And when you get to the need to do a high level raid, say I'm going to run my first heroic. I'm not even doing a mythic. I want to run my first heroic. Hell, I want to run my first normal, non-LFR raid. Unless you're part of a guild, you're not pubbing it. So the requirements and the elitism behind World of Warcraft's guilds and being able to join in them and get to the requirements required to do the raid, as much as my gear was more than ready enough to do the raid, and getting into them was an incredible pain in the ass, I did join guilds and do raids through majority of those expansions. The raids were good content, but other than that, I found myself wanting for more. I found myself missing the community of MMOs where I could go into Stormwind and talk to people and hang out, and I'd make friends, and we'd get little pubs together of groups of people who were talking about certain things. We'd go be like, yeah, I want to go do this, let's go do this together. And it doesn't happen anymore. In World of Warcraft, they've had these convenient systems in order to streamline these systems, and that's forced the community to have less and less interaction. But in my transition into Final Fantasy, something has changed significantly. So here's me on my Gunbreaker right now. It's not my main class. I've been playing around with Gunbreaker and Dark Knight to try like the other two tank classes. I haven't tried Marauder yet, and nor have I even got high enough to get a warrior. But my main class has been my class here, my Paladin. As somebody who used to play a lot of tank and a lot of melee DPS and even caster DPS in World of Warcraft, switching over here to Final Fantasy has been a genuine breath of fresh air. Not only am I getting to enjoy every aspect of the entire campaign of this game, where in World of Warcraft I am just going to get to pick a singular part of one of the expansions, and I will level in that one. And since Warlords of Draenor is the fastest one, and I need to get to the most recent content or else there's nothing to do, then I pick the fastest one. So I'm only playing Warlords of Draenor, and I'm power leveling my character through that campaign. And then when I get to the point in the campaign where I can switch to Shadowlands, I drop Warlords of Draenor and I move to Shadowlands. and that's weird to me. That's very weird to me. Now I am currently, let's bring up the menu and we'll take a look. See, where is that under? Under the New Game Plus, you can see how much of the campaign that I have beaten. I have finished all 6 parts of A Realm Reborn, and I have only halfway finished Heaven's Ward. I'm probably almost finished the 3rd chapter. Maybe I'm 3/4 of the way through. And I'll say this at the very least. Not only have I not touched a single iota of paid content, because all of this is in the free trial, it's just the fact that this story has been good, the dungeons have been good, the fucking raids, like the trials, this is how many trials there are just yet so far, and I'm not finished it yet, let alone the 2 new expansions afterward, have all been pretty good. Like, anything past, like, I'll say trials here, like anything past like here pretty much is when it starts to get way more fun. Like, these 3 ones are really easy. They're kind of like an introductory, like, little baby bosses. You fight Ifrit, then you fight Titan, and then you fight Garuda, and like ignore this thing, this is a joke. Eventually it gets to the point where the boss fights are good. They're really good. Not only is the gatekeep not World of Warcraft's gatekeep, which is, oh, your gear isn't good enough? Well, go farm really difficult mythics for a small chance at getting slightly better gear. And then when your gear is slightly better, then we'll come and you can take us, you can come join us. And if you haven't watched the fight on YouTube beforehand from the prog group that did it at the beginning and got world first and then wrote the guide about it, leave the party. And I'm sitting here like, hey, let's queue into this at the highest level. So not only do I not have to find a group, I can, and then see, like, it's counterintuitive. It's weird because in World of Warcraft, the group finder would lead to me having a shitty experience of people who aren't talking. But more often than not, my group finder experience in this has been very good. I get into a group, you give them a little oop, little boop, little hello, and everyone's just like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, hey, man. They can see the sprout on my name, which means I'm a new boy. I have not finished the main campaign. I don't have a level 80. And they're like, hey, dude, you want to know the mechanics, dude? Okay, sure, yeah, let's go. I can have some tips here and here, and you should try doing these things. And other than that, that's like the gist of it. Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. If we need to make any adjustments or if we need new information, we'll go forward. And we just progged on old content. I progged on... If I go down to the diff, there we go, the high end, the extremes. I progged on Howling Eye Extreme, I progged on the Naval, and I progged on the Bowel of Embers. I did these extremes, which were very fun at a high level. And like, we did it at synced level. You sync your item level. So that's another thing past WoW, is that your gear, it gets synced. So you run through these things as if they're intended difficulty. And it's a lot of fun fighting a boss where there's no bloat before the boss. You just get in, get to the boss, fight the fucking boss, and it ends. And it's a lot of fun when the mechanics and the things that make the boss difficult are like dodges. Oh shit, remembering which abilities do which, and having to make sure you do them appropriately, and like take things that drop off you and drop them on the different parts of the map, and then take things that apply to you, stack people with you if you need to, or stack people or stack away from people if you need to. And that's where the difficulty in this game lies. The difficulty in World of Warcraft is, hey, you need to go do this other boring content that has low percentage chance of you to increase your gear in order for you to do this, and then when you come do this, we're gonna be really strict, and if you don't do exactly right, then you're out. Now a lot of people will be like, Kanoodle, get good at raiding. I mean, I've done higher tier raiding. I did fucking, what was it, Emerald Nightmare, and then that was the raid I had finished, and it got boring afterward. I don't even remember, I think it was Blackrock fucking Fountain. I don't know, dude. I can't remember the name of the raids. I honestly couldn't even care less. It's so foregone now, past me years of World of Warcraft not being touched. I have not touched the raids for Shadowlands because I did not have a guild anymore when I came back to it, and I didn't see the point in getting into it that hard when I was still playing Valorant as much as I was. Yet I've been able to do more content on Final Fantasy, just going through the campaign and doing raids, doing Coils of Bahamut. I managed to do, if we go into A Realm Reborn, the Binding Coil of Bahamut, I am on the final coil. I've managed to finish all of the first and second coils of Bahamut, and it is a really hard and fun fucking raid. It's a multi-part, like, huge, long fight with intense mechanics. The end of turn 5, where you fight Twin Tanya, dude, holy shit, of like this first coil, dude, is like on turn 5. It's just fucking insane. There's so many mechanics to remember, and I'm not even at the crazy thing yet. I ain't even at Bahamut at the end of the final coil, right here where you fight Bahamut. I haven't even touched that, and that's one of the parts of that's still one of the parts here, right here. I haven't done any of this, and I have had hours of content, and the combat system is basically the same as WoW. It's a slight tweak with on cooldown for global cooldown abilities, and then you weave non-global cooldown abilities in between your global cooldowns, and you just fucking go as hard as you can. And it's just so much fun running this shit around, running around to Limsa Laminsa, hanging out with the cat girls and the Lalafels and the dragon girls, and just partying around, and people hosting literal groups of bards, a little tiny group of Lalafell bards playing a fucking symphony together. These motherfuckers are sitting there and holding a concert for free in the middle of Limsa Laminsa, and I'm just getting social fun time in an MMO that I haven't had in like 20, oh Jesus Christ, in like 10 years, easily. Like, when I came back to WoW for years, I didn't have the fun. Oh, I said 10 years. Like, it's just so boring. Like, I didn't have fun and social interaction in WoW since when I was part of my original spiel in Kata. Like, when I ended midway through Kata, about like a year or so into Kata, 2 years into Kata, I just like got bored and I had to take a break. And that was when the community really started like failing for me, and the camaraderie started to just go. And all of it is here, on top of the fact that it lets me get more invested in my character. Look at her, dude. Beautiful Valkyrie, fucking cute dragon girl. I can swap to my Dark Knight. It's got low level armor, but she still looks like a cute knight. I got the cool slick gunbreaker with the cool duster, and like the whole like western. And I got my fucking future samurai. Like, it's the insanity of like the aesthetics in this game. Like, not only the aesthetics, but the way the classes play, and the fact that I can invest myself mentally into this character. But like, yeah, Kalia Morrowind, dude, this is my character. I like her. Not only do I not have to make a new character, I can level all of my jobs. Not only are they all awesome looking, and I haven't even touched them all, it's the fact that I can try them all out, and I don't have to restart and go through A Realm Reborn anymore. Mind you, there were some slow parts in A Realm Reborn. And for those of you, this is the final piece here for you guys. For those of you who are who were ex-WoW refugees like me and want to come play Final Fantasy, do it. But just remember, the beginning of the game is gonna be a little slow. World of Warcraft is slow when you started, but you've just optimized this path of power leveling where you just mechanically go through the motions and get things done. This is a Final Fantasy game. You are going into this game with the intent of enjoying a story. So the game's story, if you read and follow through the story, is just like enjoying Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 15, like going through the story of one of those games. But on top of that too, you're part of a community and you're talking to people. I'm like, I'm finished a dungeon in Heavensward, and people will be like, enjoy the rest of HW, enjoy the rest of HW. Oh man, you're out. It's like, oh man, are you here running this part of the duty finder to help other people, or are you here as your first time? I was like, this is my first time. And they're like, hey, sweet, this is a fun dungeon. We do the dungeon, and it's, yes, it's right, a dungeon, not a raid, a dungeon. And it was fun. It was the vault on Heavensward, which is still part of the free trial. Super fun dungeon, super fun. Finish the vault, and they're like, yo, good luck. Yo, it's like, you have a trial coming up pretty soon that you're gonna be doing, and it's super fun. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'm excited. Like, I get excited about the shit that's coming up, and the people who are a part of this community who have finished it are excited that I'm having a good time. It's not like World of Warcraft where it's like, oh, you got noobs coming in here, and they're gonna fucking fill up my groups, and this guy's gonna be a fucking idiot. The people in this game are social and friendly, and it's something that I never thought that I would experience ever before. It's a kind of camaraderie that I didn't think we would ever have in an MMO over again, and that's why this game has been taken over pretty hard. So I'll leave it at that. If you want to join, come join me here on Leviathan, on the Primal Data Center. Come join in here. We've got Immortal Flames Standard Line Arc Guild, LA. We'll get you in. You can come join the guild and come join for fun. Come hang out. Add me up. I'll add anybody who sends me a friend request for sure, because that's the whole beauty of this game, is the social aspect of it. Drop the comments, dude. Tell me, if you haven't tried Final Fantasy, what's your reasoning for why you haven't tried it? And I'll argue with you in the comments. If you want to give it a shot, tell me what class were you thinking about playing. Give the like, the subscribe. Come join us in the Discord community. I will be live on twitch.tv/Kanoodle. I'll be playing this game today for a brief period. Got some plans for later tonight. But come on by. Join the community. I promise you the water is warm and the game is fun. Get in here, make a tank, make a healer, make a DPS. It doesn't matter because you can swap. Have a good one. Peace out, guys.